My wife told me she was going on a date and said I shouldn't wait up. I didn't argue. I wished her a good evening, and that's when everything changed.
She said it so casually, like she was just telling me about the weather. I'm going on a date. Don't wait up. No hesitation. No shame. Just words tossed over her shoulder while she adjusted her earrings in the mirror, looking at her own reflection, not mine. I just stood there for a second, the words hanging in the air, feeling like they didn't belong in our home. I had to ask, "What did you just say?" Just to be sure I wasn't imagining it. She let out this long, tired sigh. The kind you give when you're explaining something for the 100th time. She turned from the mirror and told me we both knew this marriage was already dead, 14 years. We'd been together for 14 years. It wasn't a fairy tale, sure. There were arguments and quiet dinners and days we felt more like roommates than husband and wife, but it was real. Or at least I thought it was real. I worked long hours, grinding away to build a life for us. I came home tired, but I always came home to her. I trusted her completely, without a single doubt. It never even occurred to me not to. She decided that stability was just another word for boring, and loyalty was optional. She didn't hide it anymore because, in her mind, she didn't have to. She didn't respect me enough to even try. That night I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg her to stay or ask who he was. I just looked at her, standing there ready to leave me for someone else, and said, "I hope you have a good evening." She was expecting me to break down, to plead, to give her the drama she probably craved. Instead, she got calm, and that calm rattled her more than any explosion of anger ever could. After the front door clicked shut, the house felt strangely peaceful. The usual tension was gone. It was just me and the silence. I sat on the couch where we used to watch movies together and just thought. I thought about all the signs I had missed or maybe chose to ignore. The late nights she claimed were with friends, the sudden coldness in her touch, the way she started talking to me like I was an inconvenience, like I was already a ghost in my own home. And in that quiet moment of reflection, a painful truth settled in. I wasn't losing her tonight. I had already lost her a long, long time ago. This was just the official announcement. She came home well after midnight, humming a little tune to herself, a soft smile on her face. She didn't look at me on the couch. She didn't offer an explanation or an apology. She just walked straight to our bedroom like it was any other night. That was it for me. I slept on the couch that night, and before the sun came up, I had made a decision. In the weeks that followed, I changed my strategy. I stopped reacting to her. I stopped asking where she was going or when she'd be back. I just let her be. Instead, I poured all that energy back into myself. I started hitting the gym again. I focused on a big project at work that I'd been putting off. I started setting boundaries, small ones at first. I stopped doing her laundry. I started making dinner just for myself. I was reclaiming my space, my time, my energy. As I pulled back, she grew bolder. It was almost like she was proud of her newfound freedom, flaunting it. She told our friends I was being distant and cold. She told her own family that I had emotionally checked out of the marriage long ago, painting herself as the victim. I knew what she was doing, but I let her tell whatever story made her feel better. Let her spin her narrative. What she didn't know was that while she was busy building her case against me, I was quietly preparing to leave the right way. One evening, out of the blue, she sat next to me on the couch. The TV was on, but neither of us was watching. She asked, "Do you even love me anymore?" I thought about it for a second, and the answer was simple. I looked her right in the eye and said, "Love needs respect to survive." She just laughed. A short, sharp, dismissive laugh. "You're being so dramatic," she said. And in that moment, with that laugh, whatever lingering feelings I had for the woman I married just evaporated. It was like a switch flipped. There was nothing left. From that day on, I moved with a clear purpose. I started moving my money into a separate account. I gathered all my important documents. I found a good lawyer and had a long, quiet conversation. I wasn't doing it out of revenge. I wasn't trying to punish her. I was doing it out of self-respect. It was about protecting myself and my future from the person she had become. When everything was in place, I chose my moment. It was a normal Tuesday evening. She was scrolling on her phone and I just said it. I want a divorce. She didn't look shocked. She didn't cry or scream. She just put her phone down and said, I figured. Then came the question that told me everything I needed to know about her heart. She asked, so what do I get? Not, what went wrong? Not, can we fix this? Just, what's in it for me? The process itself was clean and fast. My lawyer was excellent. Because I had prepared, there were no surprises, no emotional games she could play. When her lawyer explained to her that our assets would be divided fairly based on the law, and there wasn't some big lottery-style payout waiting for her, her entire attitude changed. Suddenly, I was the cold, calculating monster who had plotted behind her back. I just told her, I didn't plot, I learned. Months passed, life moved on. The man she was so excited about, the one who was the thrilling escape from her boring life, he disappeared the moment things got real, the moment responsibility entered the picture. Her adventure turned into frustration. She called me a few times, sending texts, testing the waters. Little messages saying she'd miss me or asking if we could talk. She was knocking on a door she had slammed shut and locked herself. I never answered. Then one afternoon I ran into her at the grocery store. It was completely by chance. She looked tired, smaller somehow. The vibrant, defiant energy she had before was gone. She asked me how I was doing, her voice a little shaky. And for the first time in a long time, I told her the absolute truth. I said, I'm at peace. She nodded like she understood, but the look in her eyes told me she didn't. Not really. Walking away from that 14-year marriage taught me a lesson that no book or piece of advice ever could. Love without respect isn't love, it's a burden you carry until it breaks you. I learned that your silence can be your greatest source of strength. And sometimes the very best response to being replaced is to simply refuse to compete in the first place. She went on her date looking for a temporary thrill. I went on with my life looking for lasting peace. And in the end, that has made all the difference. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you're not alone, and choosing yourself is the bravest thing you can do. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about finding strength in difficult times. See you in the next one.